Sometimes the most dangerous threats to a family business don't come from competitors or market downturns, they come from within the family itself. I learned this lesson the hard way when my brother-in-law Marcus decided he deserved a piece of our company. Little did he know, his greed would be his undoing. I'm Emily Parker, 29 years old, and the head of security and technology at Parker Industries, our family's manufacturing business. My father, David Parker, built this company from nothing 40 years ago, starting with a single machine in our garage. Now we're one of the largest manufacturers of precision medical equipment in the country. Growing up, I was always fascinated by the technical side of our business. While other kids were playing with dolls, I was taking apart computers and learning about security systems. My older sister Diana, on the other hand, was more interested in the social aspects of business, networking, marketing, and public relations. We made a great team, each focusing on our strengths. Then Marcus entered the picture. Diana met Marcus at a charity gala 5 years ago. He was charming, well-dressed, and seemed to know everyone who was anyone in the business world. I remember the way he swept into our lives, full of grand stories about his business ventures and connections. Dad was skeptical from the start, but Diana was head over heels in love. He's perfect, Emily, she would gush. He understands business, he's ambitious, and he knows exactly how to make things happen. I wished I could share her enthusiasm, but something about Marcus never sat right with me. Maybe it was the way his smile never quite reached his eyes, or how he would casually drop hints about his supposed wealth while always letting others pick up the check. But Diana wouldn't hear a word against him, and within 6 months, they were married. The problem started almost immediately. Marcus began showing up at the office unannounced, sitting in on meetings he wasn't invited to, and offering unsolicited advice about how we should run our business. His suggestions always seemed to involve spending more money, usually in ways that would benefit him directly. You really should upgrade the executive offices, he'd say, eyeing Dad's modest but functional workspace. It doesn't project the right image. I know a fantastic interior designer. Dad would just smile and change the subject. He'd built this company on practical decisions and careful investment, not flashy displays of wealth. For the first few years, Marcus seemed content to play the role of the connected brother-in-law, using his association with Parker Industries to improve his own business dealings. We later learned he was taking kickbacks from vendors he recommended, but that's getting ahead of the story. Everything changed when Dad announced his semi-retirement. He wasn't stepping down completely, just reducing his day-to-day involvement and delegating more responsibility to Diana and me. Diana would handle the business operations and client relations, while I would oversee technology and security. It was a natural division of labor that played to our strengths. Marcus was livid. "What about me?" he demanded during a family dinner. "I've been part of this family for years now. I should have a role in running the company." Dad was diplomatic but firm. "Marcus, you've never actually worked for Parker Industries. Diana and Emily have been involved in the business since they were teenagers. They've earned their positions." "But I'm a man," Marcus exploded, showing his true colors. "I have more business experience than both of them combined. You can't seriously expect me to answer to my wife and her little sister." The room went silent. Diana looked like she'd been slapped. Dad's face hardened in a way I'd never seen before. "I think you should leave now, Marcus," Dad said quietly, "and take some time to think very carefully about your future with this family and this company." Marcus stormed out, slamming the door so hard a family photo fell off the wall. The glass cracked in a spiderweb pattern, an omen of what was to come. Over the next few weeks, Marcus's behavior became increasingly erratic. He would alternate between trying to charm Dad with elaborate business proposals and making thinly veiled threats about exposing irregularities in the company's operations. Of course, there were no irregularities to expose. Dad had always run the business by the book. Diana was caught in the middle, torn between loyalty to her family and love for her husband. I could see the strain taking its toll on her. She lost weight, developed insomnia, and started making uncharacteristic mistakes at work. That's when I decided to take matters into my own hands. As head of security, I had access to all the company's surveillance systems. I also had a knack for cybersecurity that few people knew about. I started monitoring Marcus's activities more closely, both at the office and online. What I discovered was shocking. Marcus had been systematically gathering confidential company information, client lists, pricing structures, manufacturing processes. He'd also been meeting with our biggest competitor, supposedly to discuss a joint venture, but the emails I intercepted told a different story. He was planning to steal our clients and key employees. using insider information to undercut our prices and destroy the business unless Dad paid him a massive consulting fee of $4.5 million. He even had a draft lawsuit prepared, full of false allegations of discrimination and financial misconduct. But Marcus had made one crucial mistake. He'd assumed that because I was the little sister, I wouldn't be sophisticated enough to catch him. He had no idea that I'd designed most of our security systems myself, or that every email he thought he'd deleted was safely backed up on servers he didn't know existed. I took my findings to Dad, but asked him to wait before acting. I had a feeling Marcus would show his hand soon, and I wanted to be ready when he did. I didn't have to wait long. Last night, our security cameras caught Marcus entering the office at 11 p.m., using Diana's keycard which he'd secretly duplicated. He spent 2 hours downloading files from our servers and photographing documents from Dad's office. What he didn't realize was that I'd set up a special protocol. Every file he accessed was marked, and his entire nocturnal adventure was recorded in perfect HD quality. The next morning, Marcus burst into our scheduled family business meeting without warning. Diana was presenting our quarterly results when he slammed his hands on the conference table. "This ends now," he shouted. "I'm tired of being sidelined in this company. I demand my fair share, $4.5 million, paid immediately, or you'll regret it." Dad started to speak, but Marcus cut him off. "Don't bother trying to intimidate me, old man. I know everything about this company, everything, and unless you want your precious clients to learn all about your creative business practices, you'll pay me what I deserve." "I deserve it more than your worthless daughter," he yelled, pointing at me. "What does she know about business? She plays with computers while I'm out there making real connections." That's when I decided it was time for my presentation. I picked up the remote control and turned on the large screen at the end of the conference room. "Speaking of computers, Marcus," I said calmly, "would you like to explain what you were doing in Dad's office at 11:37 p.m. last night?" The color drained from his face as crystal-clear security footage showed him rifling through confidential files. Split-screen images showed him downloading data, taking photos, and making phone calls. "Or perhaps," I continued, clicking to the next slide, "you'd like to explain these emails to our competitors? The ones where you offer to sell them our client list and manufacturing processes?" Marcus's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. Diana had her hands over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. That's illegal surveillance," Marcus sputtered. "You can't." "Actually," I interrupted, "as head of security, it's literally my job to monitor and prevent corporate espionage, which is exactly what you were engaging in. Would you like to see the footage again? I'm sure the police would find it interesting." "The police?" Now Marcus was starting to sweat. "Wait, we can work something out. I was just trying to prove my worth to the company." "By attempting to extort money and steal trade secrets?" Dad's voice was like ice. "That's not proving your worth, Marcus. That's proving you never deserved to be part of this family in the first place." Diana stood up slowly. I could see the moment her last illusion about her husband shattered. "How long?" she asked quietly. "How long have you been planning to betray us?" Marcus tried to reach for her hand, but she pulled away. "Baby, you don't understand. I did this for us. They never appreciated my potential." "Your potential for what?" Diana's voice was getting stronger. "Theft? Blackmail? Is that why you married me, to get your hands on my family's company?" The look on Marcus's face was all the answer she needed. "Security will escort you out," I said, pressing a button on my phone. "You'll be hearing from our lawyers shortly." "And Marcus?" "I'd start looking for a good criminal defense attorney if I were you." As security led him away, we could hear him shouting promises and threats in equal measure, but his words had no power anymore. We had everything on video, and his carefully planned scheme had crumbled in less than 15 minutes. The next few months were challenging. Diana filed for divorce immediately, and our lawyers worked overtime to protect the company from any potential fallout. We needn't have worried once Marcus's other business associates learned he was under investigation. They scattered like cockroaches in sunlight. Apparently, we weren't the first company he'd tried to scam, just the first to catch him in the act. The evidence I'd gathered was more than enough for the police to file charges. Marcus, facing years in prison, quickly agreed to a plea deal. He had to sign a comprehensive non-disclosure agreement, return everything he'd stolen, and agree to stay away from our family and business forever. Diana threw herself into her work, proving herself even more capable without Marcus's constant interference. She's dating again now, much more cautiously, and has become a stronger leader for having gone through this experience. Dad officially promoted me to Chief Technology Officer, acknowledging that my playing with computers had saved the company millions in potential losses. We've since upgraded our security systems even further, and I've been asked to speak at several industry conferences about preventing corporate espionage. As for Marcus, last we heard, he was trying to sell his business consulting services in another state. Good luck to anyone who hires him. His non-disclosure agreement requires him to inform potential employers about his criminal record. The whole experience taught us several valuable lessons. First, not everyone who smiles and makes grand promises has your best interests at heart. Second, true business success comes from hard work and integrity, not schemes and shortcuts. And third, sometimes the best person to catch a snake is the one they underestimate. Dad keeps a frame in his office now. It holds the security camera still of Marcus getting caught red-handed, next to the newspaper article about his conviction. A reminder, Dad says, that our greatest strength is our family's trust in each other. Diana and I are closer than ever, running the company together just as Dad always envisioned. Our business has grown even stronger, as clients appreciate working with a company that values integrity and has the technical capability to protect their interests. Sometimes I think about that family photo that fell when Marcus slammed the door, the one where the glass cracked. We've replaced it with a new one, just Dad, Diana, and me, standing in front of the company headquarters. No cracks, no hidden agendas, just three people who trust each other completely. Marcus still tries to contact us occasionally, usually when he's running low on money. His emails go straight to a special folder I created labeled evidence for future reference. He doesn't know it, but every attempt to reach us violates his plea agreement. I keep the records, just in case. Last week, we had another family business meeting. Diana presented record-breaking quarterly results. I introduced our new cybersecurity initiatives, and Dad beamed with pride at both of us. No one burst in with demands or threats. No one questioned our qualifications or capability. Looking around that conference room, I realized something important. Sometimes the worst things that happen to your family business can end up making it stronger. Marcus thought he could exploit our trust in family, but he didn't understand that real family business isn't about taking, it's about building something together, protecting it, and passing it on stronger than you found it. Dad's semi-retirement is going well now. He spends more time on his boat than in the office, knowing the company is in good hands. Diana has a new boyfriend who runs his own small business and is more impressed by her business acumen than intimidated by it. And me? I'm expanding our technology division, developing new security systems that will protect not just our company, but our clients as well. The security footage of Marcus's late-night betrayal is still in our systems, carefully preserved. Not because we need it anymore, his conviction took care of that, but as a reminder that sometimes the most valuable security system isn't the technology itself, but the person behind it who everyone underestimated. Every morning when I walk into my office, I pass the wall of family photos in the lobby. There's one from the company's founding, showing Dad in front of that first garage workshop. There's one of Diana and me as teenagers, learning the business from the ground up. And there's our newest addition, a photo from last month's company picnic, showing 3 generations of Parkers, including Diana's teenage daughter who's already showing an interest in our technology division. Marcus isn't in any of those photos anymore, but the lessons we learned from his betrayal are woven into the very fabric of our company. Trust, but verify, value substance over style, and never, ever underestimate the quiet one who's watching everything. The $4.5 million he demanded? We invested it in upgrading our security systems and employee benefits instead. After all, the best revenge isn't just catching someone in the act, it's building something stronger from their attempt to tear you down. And that security footage? It's become something of a training video for our HR department, How to Spot a Corporate Spy 101. Marcus would hate knowing he's still contributing to the company's success, just not in the way he intended. Sometimes I wonder if he ever really understood what he lost, not just the money he tried to extort, but the chance to be part of something real, something built on trust and hard work rather than schemes and lies. But then I remember the look in his eyes when he was making his demands. There was never any room in there for understanding what really matters in a family business. The company's doing better than ever now, turns out, when you don't have someone constantly trying to undermine you for their own gain. It's amazing what you can accomplish. Diana's client relationships are stronger than ever. My security systems are industry-leading, and Dad's pride in what we've built is visible every time he visits the office. As for that cracked family photo, we kept it too, stored away as a reminder that sometimes the cracks in your family portrait can show you where you need to be strongest. And in our case, Those cracks led us to build something even better than what we had before. Marcus thought he could break us. Instead, he made us unbreakable.